6 minutes after 9 o'clock. It is a beautiful Tuesday, the first day of November. Can you believe it? Carol Ann Baldwin is in the studio. This show is called In the Garden with Carol Ann, and this is a great opportunity for the next hour to call in, ask Carol Ann questions about your lawn, your garden, anything related to those two subjects close to those two subjects. And of course, it doesn't have to be a question. We love when you call in and just share stuff. I shared this morning. Carol Ann also has, in addition to this show, a Facebook page called In the Garden. So if you're not a member of that, just because it's a closed group, you got to say, hey, can I join in? And I'm sure she'll say, yeah, no problem. Yeah. Just don't sell anything.
Right.
Just don't be there to sell stuff. Yeah. Be there to be a friend and share your picture like I did this morning of my
Crinum lily.
Whatever it is. Crinum?
Crinum.
Crinum.
C-R-I-N-U-M.
Weird word. Good morning, Carol Ann.
Good morning, Larry. How are you this morning?
Crinum
lily.
I'll never remember that. A crinum lily.
Crinum lily.
So I have a question about it.
Okay.
Okay, it's pretty, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Do you know it's the first one ever? No. That's not the end of the sentence. It's the first one. No, I have like maybe 5 of them.
Okay.
I didn't plant any of them.
Right. Yeah, they all came with the house.
Yeah, they came with it. But it's the first one ever to not be laying down on the ground. It's the first one ever to be upright.
It'll probably tip over.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just get a little heavy for their stem, and
they always are on the ground.
They just the stem gets heavy and falls over.
So the actual question I have is regarding people who responded to it, because I posted that on my Facebook page, who said, gosh, I have that same plant, but mine are all white. There's no purple.
Right. There's different colors.
So is mine an unusual one?
No, not necessarily. I think I showed you the picture.
Yeah, it looks just like mine.
There's all different varieties. Why am I using the thing when I can use my scroll wheel? There's white ones. There's there's little bit different shapes even on the flowers. So there's a white one.
Is it genetic?
It's a different variation. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not the soil that does that.
No, it's a different plant, just like a cherry tomato and a slicing tomato. They're both tomatoes. They're just different varieties.
So are you familiar, like you go to a Burger King or whatever, and they have this one sheet thing called Coffee News? Have you ever seen this?
Oh, yeah, I love the Coffee News, yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
And so they sell advertisements, and one of the advertisements advertises a product that will strengthen the roots of your trees.
Right.
Have you ever seen that?
I've seen some of they call them root stimulators or root boosters. I've seen them around. I'm not sure on trees how legitimate that would be. On small plantings, I've seen where they've used them on like transplanting plants, where you mix up a gallon or so of the stuff and you pour it on at planting, and it's supposed to encourage a stronger root system as it grows on. I don't know if it really does that much.
It didn't say why you would want that, but I imagine.
Well, you're thinking of a healthier tree, a sturdier,
not likely to blow over in the wind,
right?
If it's got healthier roots,
right? Healthier, and to withstand and be a stronger tree, because hardier, healthier roots are taking up more nutrition. They're doing different things like that, making the plant maybe help the plant to.
That's interesting, though, that there's such a product. I mean, wouldn't fertilizer make the whole plant healthy, the roots and everything else? Generally,
yes. Yeah, if it's a balanced fertilizer, if the soil is correct for what type of plant that is, and that it's not underwater or excessively dry when it needs to be wet. Yeah, I mean, just a simple fertilizer can boost a tree, a shrub, anything like that. But most of the time, people use these root stimulators or root booster kind of things when they transplant, when they're planting, or
that would make sense. Yeah.
But even then, I'm not real sure how effective they are, because my recommendation, at least, I think it comes. I'm kind of close to the university's recommendation. When you plant a plant, say it's a 2-gallon pot or a 5-gallon pot, whatever the size is, once it's planted in the ground and when planted properly, if you put fertilizer down and you're watering every day that first week, you're washing that fertilizer down. You're watering every other day the next 2 weeks. You're washing that fertilizer down. It's not there long enough for it to pick up that much. So I generally tell people to wait until that tree or shrub has been in the ground about 6 weeks, so that you have now backed all the way back down to maybe you're watering once a week or every other week, depending on the plant, how big it is, and things like that. Just to see on that. But so those kind of things, if you're putting them down after that point, maybe it would be a benefit. I'm not sure how scientific they are.
The phone line is open if you want to call Carol Ann. Carol Ann is here for a full hour each Tuesday, and so we've got another 40 or 50, just about 49 minutes to go. We would love for you to call. Sometimes questions take longer to answer than others, and
Right.
So call early and have a nice conversation with Carol Ann.
There we go. And if you can't, or if you've got pictures that you might want to send, that because a lot of times a visual does help make it
Yes.
better. That here, Larry had a question, had a picture of a plant he had in his yard, made it real easy to take a look at it and go, hey, listen, that's a
You knew what that
pine
was
lily.
right away,
Yeah,
too.
I knew what it was, and could bring up another picture for you to see. But if you've got something like that, you got a bug, you got a problem, and you want to put some pictures on that Facebook page, go for that, because I have access to it while I'm sitting here.
That's right. It's
So-
a nice
Yeah.
combo.
Yeah.
By the way, I could not share it to the In the Garden site. I had to download it and then re-upload it to the In the Garden
Oh,
site.
because it was within your
I don't know.
Instagram or something, or
I don't know.
because it's
Maybe
enclosed,
that's
yeah.
what. I don't know. I don't know how why that
Yeah, I'm
worked,
not
but that's
sure.
just in case you're wondering.
Right.
Yeah, if you wanted to do that and you can't do it.
And it doesn't work yet. Do it a different direction.
So did you have any trick or treaters at your place?
No, not at my place. I'm too far off the beaten path. But
Yeah.
It's grandson. My understanding is got a good haul from the different events between the Halloween parties and trick or treating last night.
Yeah. Well,
So.
it's always fun for the kids, right?
Oh yeah,
I enjoy
That's
it.
But see, now my daughter has not yet taken the mom tax out yet, and then I will come through and get the grandma fee.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
see.
you got to go through and find the stuff you like.
And is the tick is a what do they call Twix?
Oh yeah, Twix.
Is
yeah.
that on your list?
Oh
Is
yeah,
Twix on your
I'll
list?
snitch the Twix. I snitch anything dark chocolate.
Really?
Oh yeah,
How old is your grandson?
9.
9. Oh, he's gonna know.
Oh yeah,
He's
yeah.
not gonna.
Oh yeah, no,
you're not
I'll
gonna
tell
fool
him. I'll be going. Okay, wait a minute. We gotta check here. And see what Grandma's hauling out of here.
We played at a nursing home yesterday, and they had a Halloween party.
Oh, great.
And so they gave us some candy to take with us.
Mm-hmm.
And afterwards, we went to a Subway shop and got sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lady in there with a child, a little girl. So we had the bags of candy in the car. So just
Right.
give them to them, and so
Right.
they were
Oh,
real
that was
happy to
nice.
get that
Yeah.
candy. Yeah.
That was sweet.
You're not supposed to give candy or take candy from strangers, but I guess on Halloween.
On Halloween, it kind of goes the other way. It's
Yeah.
just, yes, children do not go to someone's vehicle if they're offering candy.
We're up against the first break. If you want to call in, you're invited to do that. The number is 622-9622. Can you grow cinnamon here?
It's a tree, so it's the bark off of a tree.
How big of a tree?
And I'd have to look it up, but I don't.
Really?
I don't know.
All right, we'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA. We'll be right back with Carol Ann in the Garden with Carol Ann when we return.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. So this Tuesday, sunshine, some clouds, breezy and warm, high 82 to 86. Partly cloudy Tuesday night, low 66, well inland, 72 along the coast. Wednesday will be warm with clouds and sun, and a shower or two in the morning at the coast. In the afternoon, inland, high 81 to 85. Thursday, clouds and sun with some showers around, high 81 to 85. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors, with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs. And all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown Newspaper online.
A young woman contemplating having an abortion is told by society that whether she has her baby or not, it is her choice. The House of One in Faith in Ocala wants to give that young woman a place to live in comfort during her trying time, to help her know that God's love is abundant and that He is not ashamed of her in any way. The House of One in Faith is free and confidential. For more information, call 352-687-8895.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Immerse yourself in a creative blend of art, music, and culture at the 35th Annual Downtown Festival and Art Show, November 5th and 6th in downtown Gainesville. Explore a stunning collection of artwork by 240 artists and marvel at world-class paintings, vivid photography, unique sculpture, dazzling jewelry, and so much more. Enjoy continuous entertainment on 4 stages all weekend, including a downtown blues concert on Friday night. And bring the kids for free art activities at the Children's Imagination Station. For more information, call 352-334-ARTS.
Hey everybody, did you know that there is a black bear sanctuary right here in the Ocala National Forest? While FWC has postponed the bear hunt this year, there are still perils that these magnificent creatures face. Forest Animal Rescue is finishing their state-of-the-art sanctuary on 80 acres in the Ocala National Forest. The last phase of construction is the on-site clinic to help with bear cub rehabilitation and release. Forest Animal Rescue is a 501c3. Your contribution is entirely tax-deductible. Visit forestanimalrescue.org. 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. Joe Martone just walked in the studio. He's all hyped up from all that candy, I think, Karen.
Got a sugar high.
No.
Got a sugar buzz going on there.
So the phone lines are open if you want to ask about gardening-related questions. I don't think I've ever had a question about cinnamon before.
No, I don't think so. And I looked it up. I looked up planting zones for cinnamon, and it's homeguides.sfgate.com, and it actually looks like we possibly could grow a cinnamon tree here.
Okay.
In our area. Just reading a little bit during the break is that, they need, what was it I saw? So one variety needs like about 150 days of rain, or 150, what did it say, days? Days of rain per year. Well, we get, during our summer, we get, 3 months of rain pretty much, or additional, irrigation. So, you can do that through irrigation. They are big. They are very large trees.
Isn't it amazing how...
For the true cinnamon, tree, where's my size again?
it must
said
be...
about 35 to 50 feet tall with a 45 to 60 foot spread. That's true cinnamon. But the Ceylon cinnamon is actually a smaller one that could be grown in a container and pruned to maintain a maximum to 3 to 8 feet. So it is something you could grow, and if it's in a container, you can definitely manage that water a lot better, because you just put a dripper in there, and you've got that coming on, say, every other day, every third day, putting down a nice amount of water. And so now it's like, okay, now I'm thinking I need a cinnamon tree.
So I have a question. I don't know if this is a dumb one or not. What is the function of the bark of a tree? What does it actually do? The leaf, you can say, provides food. The
does
roots...
photosynthesis. Well, the bark, there's many, many layers of bark that you've got, as the outer layers just kind of protects the inner layers of the tree.
So that's really what it is.
Yeah, it's
so
kind of like...
And the reason I'm asking is, if you grow a cinnamon tree and you try to harvest the cinnamon, are you killing the tree?
And on this, it would be more over for home use. You would more than like take a branch off, because it's like the inner layer, the cambium underneath there that you would be
not
peeling
killing the
off.
tree.
No, you would take off a branch like myself. I use maybe an ounce or two of cinnamon, dried cinnamon a year. I don't use a whole lot, just because I don't, just don't do a lot of.
What's amazing is-
but I like my cinnamon in my tea. If I'm making French toast, it's got to have cinnamon in that. Some baking types of things. I don't do a lot of baking.
Yeah.
Mostly it goes in.
It's just
tea.
amazing to me how easy it is to get cinnamon, how cheap it is for cinnamon, and yet there must be people working in cinnamon farms all over the world. There must be,
Yeah, well, they say Sri Lanka is where they're native to, but
and they supply to the whole world, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean,
guess
every
you'd
box
say
of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
native to Asia. Yeah, in those it's probably a synthetic manufacturer.
Oh, you think?
Unfortunately, I mean, unless it says made with real cinnamon, and some people have to be careful. My daughter's got a good friend who's allergic to cinnamon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So she has to, everybody thinks of, peanuts as being a big food allergy or a wheat
Yeah,
allergy
yeah.
and things like that, or the belief that people have a wheat allergy where, it's just, you eat too much starch. But that you can actually have an allergic reaction to cinnamon, and she does, and it can get pretty serious. So just, watch on that.
And you have a phone call. And good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Morning.
See, speaking of cinnamon, my wife's got to have cinnamon on almost everything, between applesauce, pancakes, waffles, oatmeal, cream of wheat, you name it, it's got to have cinnamon on. Personally, I don't care for it, but she just loves her cinnamon, and I believe it's supposed to be pretty healthy, like you're saying.
Yeah, it is. It's I've heard all kinds of different things, all from blood sugar stabilization to adding it in if you're doing one of these tonics with lemon and vinegar, adding a little cinnamon, which actually tastes really good. A cup of water with
Sounds good, yeah.
It sounds funny to go. A cup of water with apple cider vinegar, a little bit of honey, and some cinnamon is tasty. I like it, but I'm a tea drinker, so.
Yeah, she read a while back, 2 years ago. She suffers from migraine headaches, and she had read that cinnamon could help that situation. Now, whether it's helping that or not, I know in the meantime she fell in love with cinnamon,
Right. Oh, yeah, I love, and you did mention a few of the others that I like it on. Cinnamon toast, that's with sugar.
Oh, yeah.
There's a little dessert you make camping or with the kids out on the grill with peaches and cinnamon and marshmallows and all kinds of different ways to use it. And, the health, there are some health benefits of it. And it's like I said, I'm going, okay, how can I get a cinnamon tree? And do I have enough sunlight? I have to do a little more research. Find out.
The real reason I called now is with my irrigation system. Now, we're going to be down to once a week here pretty quick.
Correct.
I think daylight saving time next Sunday or whatever.
Right.
And what I've got now is I've got my system set up for a half an inch twice a week.
Okay.
Now going down, like you recommended a half an inch from a quarter.
Right.
And I did. Now with once a week, is it against the law, or can I put that up to an inch?
Yeah. Go 3/4 to 1 inch of water. Sure, to go once, because you're going to only be doing once a week. So you want that to water thoroughly. You want that to water in there deep. Give it a really good drink. Coming into the cooler times, it doesn't necessarily use more water. The grass and things should be going to a somewhat of a little bit of a dormancy, so you don't want to do too much water. So you may do it. See how it reacts. Start it at maybe the inch and see if you can't cut that back. Say in another month down to say 3/4 of an inch, and then just watch it. If you find that it's suffering a little too much, maybe the blades are folding, it's drying a little too quickly, put it back up to the inch, the once a week.
Yeah, because I know now for almost a month now, I've been an inch twice a week, and the grass isn't growing. I mean, it's just it looks greenish, but it's not really growing.
It's not doing. Yeah.
What is the idea of like going in this dry season when nothing's really growing to once you can only do it once a week, because people are not going to be watering much anyways because nothing's growing, right?
Well, right, that's it. Things aren't growing. Things are supposed to go dormant. When we continue to add water to things, we artificially keep them in the wet season, and they need to go in their dormancy. They need to be able to survive that stresses, because they're not going to get the naturally occurring water the humidities go down in the wintertime. That's why we all get zapped by static electricity in the winter. We turn the heat on and the humidity's down outside even. And when your plants aren't getting the moisture naturally, putting too much in there just is it's just sort of throwing them off on what they're supposed to be doing, naturally going into our semi-dormant winter season.
Yeah, you always mentioned when we know there's a hard freeze coming, we should really water our bushes and plants a little bit to kind of give them a last minute strength.
Right. Yeah, the couple of days before we're going to get a good water. Is any plant's going to go into a stress situation better if it's been well watered and well cared for?
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we love those phone calls. If you want to call in, the number is 622-9622, and we all learn from those phone calls. Remember, you can share the photos of your lawn and your garden on Carol Ann's Facebook page called In the Garden.
That's right.
Simple as that.
Well, it is. And yeah, if you've got a harvest coming in or anything like that, let's share it with everybody who's on there.
So now that it's November, does it change anything in the gardening world?
Yeah, we're going into more of the fall planting. Your tomatoes. I've got tomatoes all over. I got about 4 or 5 plants, and they're just full of tomatoes. So I should be getting some. I should have nice slice of tomatoes. Nice and ripe in another couple weeks. So I'll be looking forward to having fresh tomatoes for. Here in the wintertime, because we don't get a whole lot. Normally up north you're buying tomatoes now because it's done with the tomato season. But we're putting in lettuce and carrots, getting ready to put in onions. The other week when caller called in and asked about which onions I got, and actually I got my digital catalog. I haven't had a chance to open it from Dixondale Farms. Actually, I think it was Tuesday afternoon in my inbox. It was like, oh, looky there, from them. And we're putting in cabbage and broccoli and cauliflower. And I'm going to try to take a picture of a guide that I picked up at the Ag Center that gives, and I guess our Ag Center did come up with this, wrote it out. The crop, we've got cool and warm season. It's one page. Crop, the plant family, which helps you rotate with the plants not in the same family. That's how we try to keep disease and insect pests and things like that in line. Just for example, broccoli and cabbage and cauliflower and Chinese cabbage and collards and kale and kohlrabi and mustard and radish and turnips are all in the same family. So it's, those kind of things, and they're all cool season plants. So when you're rotating, it's kind of hard. You're either leaving out some of those maybe 1 year, or you're planting them in a totally different location. Carrots are in their own family. Your lettuces and escarole or endive are all in the aster family. Your onions are in the lily family. Your peas are in the same family as your green beans, the bean legume family. Your potatoes are in the same family as your tomatoes, your eggplant, and the rest in the nightshade family that you had all spring and summer. So.
All right, we've got a half hour left in this show. We would love to hear from you. The phone number is 622-9622. Maybe some fall gardening questions, maybe some comments. And again, if you want to share photos of your plants and your garden, just put them on the In the Garden Facebook page that Carol Ann has created just for this show. All right, we'll be right back with Carol Ann. The number is 622-9622.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. In the fight for Mosul, an Iraqi general says special forces have now taken over the city's state TV building.
It's the first time Iraqi troops have been in Mosul since it was taken over by the insurgents 2 years ago. Mosul is dense. There are around 1 million civilians believed to be in the city. The entrance of the troops is expected to be the start of a difficult house-to-house battle in urban areas. Meanwhile, the United Nations estimates that ISIS is using some 10,000 civilians as human shields.
Fox Radio's Jessica Gallagher. In a crash between a school bus and a commuter bus this morning in southwest Baltimore. 6 people dead. This according to the Baltimore Police Department Twitter account, which says there were no children on the bus. And with a week to go till Election Day, Hillary Clinton campaigning in Florida, Donald Trump in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. Fox News, we report. You decide.
If you really want to protect your vehicle's floor, why would you settle for anything less than the most advanced vehicle floor protection available? I'm David McNeil, founder of WeatherTech. The main goal when we design, engineer, and manufacture our floor liners is to protect your vehicle's floor, period. We realize you've made quite an investment in your vehicle, so we do everything possible to help you protect it. We don't cut corners, and we don't compromise on quality, ever. We test our custom-fit WeatherTech floor liners to ensure they hold up against anything and everything that falls on them. Dirt, sand, snow, mud, even food and drinks. And our floor liners are made right here in America, with American raw materials and, of course, American workers. So now that you know how passionate we are about protection, just imagine the detail and energy we put into every aspect of our floor liners. Learn more today about our full line of automotive accessories at WeatherTech.com or call 1-800-CarMats. WeatherTech floor liners, complete protection, completely American-made.
Radio.
Ocala veterans have the opportunity to receive free dental services at Smiles at Heath Park on Friday, November 11th. Dr. Christopher Bonesteel and the team at Oak Ridge Dental Care will be honoring veterans as part of Veterans Free Dentistry Day with free dental care to veterans without dental insurance. One free extraction or cleaning will be provided per patient between 8 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. You must make an appointment. There are no walk-ins and space is limited. For more information to make an appointment, call 433-2320. That's 433-2320.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Beethoven was extremely particular about his coffee. He insisted each cup be made with exactly 60 beans. There's a new smart pepper spray. It's called the Defender, and it not only shoots a disabling spray at an attacker, it takes a picture of them in the process. So moms-to-be and friends of moms-to-be, if you want your cheese fix, experts say stick with pasteurized cheese only.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. So this Tuesday, sunshine, some clouds, breezy and warm, high 82 to 86. Partly cloudy Tuesday night, low 66, well inland, 72 along the coast. Wednesday will be warm with clouds and sun, and a shower or two in the morning at the coast. In the afternoon, inland, high 81 to 85. Thursday, clouds and sun with some showers around, high 81 to 85. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hey Ocala, this is Kelly Hart, executive editor of Ocala Magazine. Did you know last year Ocala Magazine won more awards in excellence than any other publication in Florida? And this year, Ocala Magazine was named Best Consumer Magazine in the state. Now you can join me every Friday at 10 a.m. on Ocala Magazine Radio, where we bring the pages of Ocala Magazine to life, right here on The Source. Ocala Magazine thanks you for making us number one. And remember, there is only one Ocala Magazine.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Hospice of Marion County has an urgent need for volunteers to share a conversation with someone, run errands, hold someone's hand. All you need is a willingness to help others. Our volunteers believe the blessings they receive far exceed the services they offer. Will you consider serving, caring, and making a difference? Call today, 873-7441. Hospice of Marion County, making more moments of life possible.
All right, 25 minutes before 10 o'clock. Let's return to Carol Ann Baldwin. In the Garden with Carol Ann is the name of the show. And if you'd like to be on the show, whether it's for a question or just to talk to Carol Ann, the number is 622-9622. I see some people looking online. So if you're out of the area code is 352. The full number, therefore, 352-622-9622. So I have a question about my, what's it called again? Sago palm.
Okay.
Okay. Do you remember I told you some months ago that it had lots of like white-looking dust, and you told me it's a bug of some sort?
Right, the cycad scale.
And to get some oil to get
spray.
well, I never got the oil.
Okay.
Now, I would say a good half of it looks like it's dead.
Yeah,
Should I just cut all of them off and then just wait for them all to grow back?
I mean, you can
Just have a big empty stump for a while?
Yeah, they look ugly like that.
But they grow pretty quick.
They do, but you're probably also going to want to spray still.
Still, even though...
Yeah, because they can be on that trunk, they can be in the ground, they can be,
But it's interesting because I have another one 5 feet from the one.
Well, it's happy right where it's at, and it can spread. Because it is an insect. But you see, they're not real mobile. They're not hugely there might be some starting on it. You just don't see it yet.
Uh-huh. So the other question I have is about the first plant, the one I put on the Facebook page.
Okay, the crinum, yeah.
Crinum. I've been in this home now, maybe 10 years already?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I think so.
So I don't think there was 5 back then. I think there was only 2.
They've spread.
And I think what happened was the guy who lived next door to me before Doug lived there, and now Doug doesn't even live there anymore, but there was a guy there who was very, very good with gardening, and he was very good. So I'm thinking he took some plants from my plant and made plants.
He may have
leaves or whatever.
No, not by leaf. On those,
So how do you do that?
It would have been there are seeds that'll come after those flowers.
Oh, okay.
He could have done by seeds, or even those seed heads. Like you say, the flowers fell over. If it made the seed head, and the seed head.
So it might have been natural?
It may have been natural, or if they were dug up at one point, there'll be small bulblets underneath next to that bulb that you could take off and move.
Okay.
Because that's they'll get.
It is really a pretty plant.
Yeah, they are.
And I don't do
flowers.
any. I am not a good gardener, but I have a great garden.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
I just let
most
God
of
do all the
time-
work.
And a lot of times, I think we all, as gardeners and things like that, have a tendency to try too hard.
So the secret to my success
is to let it be. And that's you figure. What does nature do? I mean, it was nature plants a tree by dropping a seed to the ground in the correct location. It gets buried either by animal life or other just leaf litter. It sprouts because of what occurs in nature. Some things like pines and things like that need a fire in order to scarify that seed and open that up. But they crack open, or a squirrel to drop one and it cracks the seed, or a bird to drop it like an acorn, cracks that open just a little bit, moisture gets in, it sprouts, it begins to grow. As it grows and they drop leaves back down on the ground, those leaves will break down and nourish that tree. It's all, things grew before we got here.
Do you know what you reminded me of? You had asked David, is his name Goodman? Goodman?
David,
to come in and sit in for you one time.
Right.
And he told the story of how he was gardening and working really hard to make things grow. And then he looked across the street where nobody was gardening and all these things were growing. And it occurred to him, just let nature do it.
Let it do it. You can let a lot of it do it on its own. We can enhance, because we can organize it differently. In nature, sometimes it is survival of the fittest. So the tiny tree that grows between the two great big ones, it may have sprouted and germinated, but it may not live. Or it may grow more vigorous and it may push out of the way one of the other ones and knocking it down. And then again, another part of nature takes over with insects and things to consume that. In our landscapes, we thin things out. We plant things far enough apart to give each plant the optimum. What scientists and biologists and botanists and things like that have found that, no, you don't want to plant these side by side because you will, if you plant 3 too close together, the one in the middle is going to die because they were too close together and didn't have enough air.
This is out of the science fiction world, but did you see the story? They found the brain, they believe, of a dinosaur.
Oh, okay.
It was fossilized. It looked like a hunk of dirt to me.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And the way they described it, it was like no bigger than a tennis ball.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was. It looked big in the picture, but I guess. Anyway, so they were testing the DNA in the plants that were growing over that area.
Okay.
To see, because they believed a lot of dinosaurs for some reason died and were buried there, or just got covered.
Just went there, right?
Whatever. And so they believed that the DNA from the dinosaurs might actually be in the plants. Okay, so I'm not so sure if you think that's possible or not, but I wondered if that is possible, and if it is, does that mean the DNA in the grass over my grandfather's grave has his? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't think on that it would, because we embalm, we change things, and
Okay, so forget my grandfather.
Like where your dog is buried in the backyard, does your grass there?
Okay, but like Gettysburg, where all those Confederate
soldiers,
and Union soldiers
dead.
I mean, that's a crazy thought.
It really kind of is. I think the idea where theirs is that the earth covered over a lot of these things over time, and so kept turning under foliage on top of things. The animal dies, or the dinosaur died, and nobody buried it. It laid there.
Yeah.
And so as it decomposed and things like that, it just oozed all over everything else. And then, who knows, earthquake happens, dirt piles on top of that.
Yeah.
So that whatever foliage was there is stuck there in that time frame.
Wow.
And so that, I don't know.
It's an interesting world, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And I mean, not a whole lot we can do on changing some of that.
No, and I know it's way out of left field for your show, but
hey,
it
was
it was a gardening sort of kind of question.
It had a plant related in there somewhere. But no, we're going into, because I know we just said, it's November the 1st.
Hard to believe, right? You have a phone call. Let's go.
Right.
Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Morning. How are you this morning?
Good. What's up?
You talk about fossils and stuff like that in the soil or the dirt. I went to a peat place that harvests peat out of some of the old lakes down towards Apopka.
Okay.
I think it's called CNC peat.
Okay.
And they actually pull away the front top layer of the seeds and then start digging. They go like 20 feet plus down, and they're pulling up pieces of plant that's still intact. It's decayed, but it's still intact. You can see where it was a big elephant leaf or whatever it was.
Right. Wow.
So it just lays down and breaks down the way it is, and that's what they use to harvest peat. Then they fill it back in with the seed top and then fill it with water so it's a lake again.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
Or swampy area, because that's what most of those swampy areas were down here. They were more lakes, and as the debris decays, it fills them up and makes them more swampy.
Right, makes muck, makes peat bog.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. Anyways,
cool.
Have a great day, guys.
All right,
Thank
you too. Thanks.
So that's something we haven't talked about. What is I know I've seen it in the store. What do you use that for?
Oh, it's used in several different ways. You can buy the big bale of peat, and that you're going to take and open that up and put it in your garden bed if you're starting a fresh bed, or refurbishing up a bed that maybe you've taken some plants out and it needs some fresh soil in. That it helps to hold moisture, because it's decayed plant material, and it's ground up. It's it comes out on some of them.
Circle of life, right?
Yeah, it's a circle of life. I mean, you use different kinds of, the sphagnum peat in strands is used planting orchids. It's ground up and it's put into potting mixes, because that's what sort of gives it the fluff and thing. And that on a potting soil is predominantly peat. Then there's other items added to it like perlite and vermiculite and things like that. Or the big bale of peat you bring home, you cut the thing open, and just that bale it's heavy. It's about 2x3 rectangle, and you bust that thing open, and next thing you know, it's huge. It's like 3 cubic feet of stuff. It's and you just work that, rake it into your soil, spade it into your soil, and water it down.
Do you notice a difference? Right away, like if you do
if you start planting, the plants are happier, because it also will acidify the soil somewhat, or make it, it makes it hold water better. Soil retention works better, but it's just one of those good soil amendments that we can put in.
All right, we're up against the last break. Wow, it goes so fast. We'll take a break if you want to call in, and I think we got something to give away too. We've got tickets to the Appleton Museum of Art, it looks like, and Bob Wine's Community Gardens and Nursery. We'll do that on the other side. If you want to call in to ask Carol Ann a question, don't call in right now for the prize, because I got to figure out how we're doing that. We'll do that in a little bit. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Tuesday, sunshine, some clouds, breezy and warm, high 82 to 86. Partly cloudy Tuesday night, low 66, well inland, 72 along the coast. Wednesday will be warm with clouds and sun, and a shower or two in the morning at the coast. In the afternoon, inland, high 81 to 85. Thursday, clouds and sun with some showers around, high 81 to 85. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
FlySanford.com. Orlando Sanford International Airport. We are SFB. Simpler, faster, better.
Visiting friends and family or just looking for some fun? Book your vacation now to one of their nonstop destinations, including Amsterdam, Brussels, Mexico City, San Juan, as well as over 70 domestic destinations, including New Orleans.
For enjoyable travel, come to Orlando Sanford International Airport. We are SFB. Simpler, faster, better. Before you fly, FlySanford.com.
Whether you're just starting out in your career or ready to make a change, being a commercial pilot is within your reach. The FAA has predicted that in the next few years, the number of planes in the sky will double, and that means a lot more jobs in aviation. Ocala Aviation has teamed up with an accredited university, enabling you to get a college degree in aviation while training to be a commercial pilot. And with options like financial aid, grants, and scholarships, it's never been a better time to get your new career in aviation started today. For more information, call me at Ocala Aviation, 352-861-7484.
You have that drip coming down from the corner of the room, but where did it start from? Bone Dry Roofing can and will fix it right the first time using quality materials and will deal honestly and fairly with you, period. You can find Bone Dry Roofing on their website, bonedryroofingllc.com, and Facebook at Bone Dry Roofing LLC. Do it right before your roof needs a tarp to keep the elements out. Bone Dry Roofing stands behind the work to help make your home safe and secure, plus they have financing available. Remember, if you're not bone dry, then you're all wet.
Hi, I'm Big Daddy Don Garlitz, asking you to support adoption by purchasing a Choose Life license plate from your county tag office. You know it costs a lot to give a child life. Many times a woman is forced to make a bad choice because of financial pressures. Help save the lives of the unborn children by aiding women whom choose life instead of abortion. Take a stand for life. Purchase your Choose Life license plate today. For more information, go to chooselife.org or call 352-624-2854.
Cookies, 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 cookies. We go cookie eating cookies.
When you want something special and fun for any occasion, get cookies. King Cookie in the Paddock Mall in Ocala will make a delicious, fun-filled delight just for you. So next time you're in the mall, stop by King Cookie or call 352-237-2557. KingCookieOcala.com. Customized cookies, cakes, and more. King Cookie.
Eating cookies. We're so happy eating cookies.
Cookies. All right, 12 minutes before 10 o'clock. Carol Ann Baldwin is here. Your phone calls are invited, and we'd love to hear from you. The number is 622-9622. If you're new to the show, welcome to the show. This is about your garden. So in the website called Florida Newsline that we use sometimes for news, there was a gardening story, and I just kind of went to it just to remind myself. And the headline is all I'll ask you about. It says, "Gardening in Florida in the autumn: difficult weather but good insects." What is that? I mean, what would be the good? Do good insects show up in the autumn in Florida? And what is a good insect?
Good insects are ladybugs, lacewings, praying mantis, dragonflies, spiders. They're all the good bugs.
And they show up in the autumn?
And I think maybe they finally built a population between spring and summer and finally have a great enough population to do significant control on some of your insect pests. Of course, too, to me, in the fall, you do have fewer pests because the temperatures have changed. You have fewer, usually end up with fewer disease issues, but you can have some different disease issues than what you had because now we have cool, long nights that could be damp. You know, we woke up yesterday morning to that pea soup fog.
Yes.
That was, you couldn't see anything till about 9 o'clock yesterday morning, or not for any real great distance. And, you know, just different issues in the garden in Florida here in starting November, December through the fall and winter. But you also have different plants that you're putting in. If you had planted some green beans back the end of August, 1st of September, you probably have started harvesting. So you're getting some of those, and they're almost done because it's getting cooler. So that, and well, actually, I pulled some out today at the Ag Center. They rusted out on me, and rust is a fungal issue that, insect pest, insect, good guy or bad guy, isn't the culprit. It's temperatures and moisture. And sometimes people hands if we're harvesting. We spread it ourselves. But your other insect pests, you're not seeing the tomato hornworms near as prolifically on tomato plants that are set out for fall as you do when you see them set out for spring, because the eggs hatching from the moth is just not going on as rapidly as it would be in the fall.
So is it every year or is it just this year? Because this particular article mentions Hurricane Hermine and Hurricane Matthew. So did that contribute to the insect population maybe?
I don't see why, really. I don't think that they were that huge of a contributing factor in a widespread area over Central Florida or anything. We had it coastally on the Atlantic and on the Gulf, just a small area really on that as well. For us, it's just a matter of here we're into our cooler season. Yes, it's nicer to be outside, but you can have other fungal problems. And like I said, I think there's usually a little bit less pest problems. And part of it's too, it's the plants that are in. You don't plant cabbage in March for a June and July harvest. They don't grow in that time of year. So the insects that are a problem on those aren't going to be there in those time of months. So you get those pests here in the fall when you're beginning to plant that broccoli and cauliflower, cabbage, those kind of things. Your lettuces, there's different insects that'll get on those. A lot of aphids on those. And so your ladybugs are going to be a benefit on those. And again, the population that you've got a lot more adults of the good guys, of the beneficial insects, eating more, still making more little ones of those that also consume the ladybug larvae. Looks like a little, I was thinking it looks like a little monster bug, and he's quite the aphid eater. And so it's a benefit, on that way all the way around.
Can you just talk for a little bit? I printed something up for you.
Okay, you got to run and go get something.
That article had a link to the University of Florida Extension Service.
Okay, one of the websites.
Planting guides for the calendar, and so I didn't know if I would click on North Florida or Central Florida.
Central Florida would be us. Oh, okay.
So let me go get them.
All righty. And so, you're going to run and grab that. If anybody was looking at the website, at the Facebook page the other day, I did post a picture of a spider. And, I know a lot of people are terrified of spiders. Spiders are good guys. In the garden, they're not a selective predator insect, but they are, they will eat whatever they get their little spider legs on. But the one I had taken a picture of, I saw at work, and it's the lynx spider. He's a green spider. Many people who do butterfly gardening and such like that get upset to see those in the garden because that's where they predominantly are, and they will eat the caterpillars. But for me, vegetable gardening, I want them to eat the caterpillars because keep them at bay. But they're a good guy out there, and those who want to just smush them or sick their cat or dog on them, shame on you.
Stick your dog on a caterpillar.
On a spider.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
I told you about the spider tool, right?
Yes, that picked them up. Yeah, it's kind of like one of those pick them up tools that you might use in your garage. I've seen them in a couple places, and
so I got the things I printed up, and I don't know. I picked Central and North.
And the North, and they're probably not that far off from one another. Usually it might be just a matter of a couple of weeks because your lawn mowing, all those kind of things are the same. The links to the different gardening sites through UF or that are also ones that UF sort of, agrees with, but you've got your scale insects in November. They're saying North Florida. We've got some scale insects going on still right now for us, so it may, we're starting a little early on that. The fungal diseases, watch until May for brown patch, large patch, fungal diseases for your lawns. Scale on ornamentals, it's actually listed on both of them. You're just watching for some of those same things, and Central and North Florida are pretty close.
And you got another phone call. Good morning, you're on the air with Carol Ann.
Good morning, Carol Ann.
Good morning.
I just have to chime in on your spider conversation. This year, I sort of, around the house, you get these big, I call them banana spiders.
Yes, yeah.
Under the eaves and all, and I've just sort of left them there to do their job as long as I'm not running into their web.
Exactly, yeah.
Because I figure they catch bugs, and are they beneficial to do that?
Oh, yes, most definitely. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm not a big, some of the spiders I am sort of creeped out on. Those big ones are actually the golden orb weaver, however they call it, golden silk. But they're a large spider, and the very thick webbing in their spider webs. And so when they start to get down too low, I break the bottom strands and sort of train them to go up. Train that spider to go up over. I'm only a little over 5 feet, but up over 6 feet, so that they're under walking height. And so let them do their thing, because yes, they're going to catch insects if they're in the eave or in the corner. Let them alone. They're your pest control, keeping things out of the garden. Yes, they're going to catch some butterflies. Yes, they're going to catch some things. But you know what? Usually when you plant for butterflies, you're actually raising more than what can be sustained by what you've planted anyway. You're getting way more eggs. It's just sort of like when we plant milkweed, we end up with so much that it's almost like the little welfare thing. We can make more eggs, though you're only going to get so many to survive. So, but nature's got its way.
I got a butterfly bush from your store.
Yeah.
I can't believe I was paying that much for a weed, but now I've got it all over the place, and I put out, my husband has out pots of parsley, and we've had lots of worms, so hopefully we've helped the butterfly population. But,
oh, yeah.
And then they double as, the webs double as Halloween decorations.
There you go. That's
all right. You have a good day.
You too. Thanks for calling.
Bye-bye.
We got about 2 minutes left. Let me do this.
Okay.
Does anybody want to go to the museum? I got 2 tickets. Just tell me you want to go.
That's it. Yeah.
And you'll get $20 for Bob Wine's Community Gardens and Nursery at the same time.
At the same time, so you can have a nice evening at the Appleton and work in the garden on the weekend.
Yeah, it sounds like a nice idea. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. I was calling because I have poinsettias that I have been pampering for a beautiful Christmas foliage.
Okay.
Went out last week, and there's this mildewy, moldy stuff. How do I get rid of it, or do I have to cut those branches off and throw them out and hope that I got it?
Oh, moldy. Yeah, you're probably going to want to just cut that out. It's probably going to be easier just because at the time of year for them to try to recover, or if it's just, is it the whole branch or is it just some leaves?
It's the whole branch, and now it's spreading to other parts of it. So my beautiful hard work is going down the drain.
Oh, you might want to go ahead and try to spray with a fungicide, or even one of the multi type things like a neem oil, where just in case in case it's not actually a mold, in case it's an insect underneath there. Okay. So the neem would take care of both of those.
And I can get that at the feed store?
You should be able to, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I know we have less than a half a minute. Good morning. You're on the air. Did you want the tickets by chance?
Yes, please.
All right, you got them. Who's this?
This is Rick.
Rick? Okay, and you know where we are, right?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
They'll be waiting for you. Thank you, Rick.
Right, bye-bye.
And Carol Ann, as always, a great show.
Another great show.
Always so fast.
Thanks to the listeners.
Thank you for what you do. It's awesome.
Oh, you're welcome.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Hillary Clinton saying there is no case here, speaking of the renewed FBI investigation into her staffers' emails.
FBI forensic computer experts have developed a software program with key search terms, what analysts call taglines, and this process of sifting through thousands of records on Anthony Weiner's computer has begun. The warrant will now allow FBI investigators to move beyond the metadata on Weiner's computer, which had positive hits for State Department as well as Clinton server emails, to search the contents of these messages.
Fox's Catherine Herridge. Clinton is in Florida today, Donald Trump in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. A crash between a school bus and commuter bus in southwest Baltimore leaves at least 6 people